There we go. Okay, so we're recording the session. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Um, we're not going to go through every single thing on the Realtor site today because there's a lot of products and it will just take too long. So when I do a sort of an introductory tutorial like this, what I cover is just a quick little tour through the home page, and then we go through how to order and create the four main products, our four most popular products, which are photo shoots right here, our virtual tours, e-flyers, and print material. So we will just cover these four today, and that will take close to an hour, right? And I'll go nice and slow so you guys can see what it's all about. And then you can interrupt me. If you ever have questions, just holler. I'll stop and we'll do questions. And if you're interested, we can do a secondary session and go over some of our other marketing products. And that session's a lot shorter. But these products here our agents use to market their real estate listings. So they're kind of the most important ones. Our other products are used more for you guys to market yourself, right? Okay, so for today, we're just going to go through these ones. So first of all, just to give you a quick little run through of what we're looking at, this is my Realtor dashboard page. So when you create a Realtor account and you log into your account, you're going to land on this page, and everybody gets the same page. So we have real estate agents, we have photographers, we have title company sales reps. All of these people can have accounts with Realtor, but everybody's dashboard looks the same. We all get the same products and stuff. Okay, so as you can see, these big buttons right here in the middle, these are for our main products that you're going to create. Okay, so if you ever need to make something, you're just going to click on one of these buttons and you can get started. Again, at the top, we have drop-down menus. These are the same products that we see right here on the home page, but we've got a drop-down menu because if you're in the middle of an e-flyer and you want to make a change, you can't get back to this button. So you've got your little drop-down here that will always be here no matter where you are in the site. Next up is My Account. When you make your account, I strongly recommend that you go into My Account. Let's go in. I'll show you this page. And take the time to fill in your contact information. Okay, so fill in your name, your email address, your office address, any contact phone numbers, whether you have a website, anything like that. Take the time to fill it in. Now, you'll understand why as we go through the process, but a lot of this information will auto-populate into the products that you're making. So when you're making a virtual tour or an e-flyer, our system will take your name, your phone number, your email address, and just populate it into the product so you don't have to do it every time you make a tour. It's just a huge time saver. Same thing with your headshots. So if you filled in your contact info, you can click on the headshots tab and you can upload images of your headshots. Now, as you'll see as we go through today's tutorial, my whole account is just full of fake information and stuff so that I can do demos and stuff. So obviously these are not my real headshots, but most people will have one or two, maybe three headshots. If they work with a partner, they might have their partner's headshot in here as well. You just click on upload images and then you just upload a JPEG or a PNG or even a PDF if you have one of your headshot. Same thing with your logos. A lot of people will have, again, these is just a collection of a whole bunch of logos that I use, but a lot of people will have a black and white logo, a color logo. They might have a logo with a transparent background. You can upload all of those and use all of those in our system. Okay, so that's what you're going to do under My Account, and I really recommend that you do this when you first create your account because as you'll see as we go along, it will just save you a ton of time when you're making products. Okay, so that was the marketing dropdown, My Account, shopping cart. If you ever need to go into your shopping cart, you can just click View Cart. Mine's empty right now, so there's nothing to look at. If you ever want to look at a history of all the stuff you've purchased, you can click on Cart History, and then you'll get a history of all the products you bought forever. You can scroll down and go, oh, I know I sent an e-flyer in September, but I don't remember how much I spent on it and how many people were in that e-flyer. You'll get all that details right here in your shopping cart history. If you ever want to just do a quick review of prices, you can just click on prices and go to any of these pages, and it'll just give you a rundown of what the price is for all of the products. Statistics, once you start doing some products and sending out, an e-flyer blast or creating a virtual tour, you can click on statistics, navigate to your listing, and then you can check the statistics and see how many people have watched your virtual tour, how many people have opened your e-flyer and looked at it, how many people looked at it again, repeat views, where did those people come from? You can check that kind of stuff on your statistics, okay? And then if you ever need help or support, you can click on the help and support line or page, and we do have a chat line. Where we have a live operator. Her name is Amanda. She works with us, so she handles everybody's, if they have an issue, we have a chat line where you can just go in and email back and forth with Amanda really quick. If she need help with something, she can help you, or you can email us as well. You can email me if you need help with anything, or Amanda, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to go back to my homepage. If you ever need to get back to your homepage, you're just going to click on Realtor and you're back on the dashboard or homepage. Okay, so that's just a really quick run through of what these buttons across the top do. All right, so first product we're going to cover today are photo shoots. So basically, I'm going to show you guys how to order a photo shoot, and it is really easy. And once you get the hang of it and start doing it a few times, you can order a photo shoot in less than 5 minutes, okay? So let's just say, you guys are agents. Let's just say you just got a new listing, and it's a really good one, and you really want some professional photography. And honestly, I cannot stress enough how important it is to invest in professional photography. Most of our photographers offer a basic photo package for about $130. So you can usually get one for, $130, which is not a lot of money. You'll get 25 or 30 professional photos that you can then use in all of your marketing products, in your virtual tours, in your flyers. You can put them on the MLS. I mean, the quality of your pictures, it's just going to work wonders for the success of, selling a listing. And we're such a visual society now. Everybody looks for everything visually online. So honestly, I can't tell you how important it is to really consider investing in a photo shoot. And there are a few other good reasons as well, and I'll go through that as we go along. So let's say I just got a listing. First thing I want to do is order that photo shoot, okay? So I just click on my button, click here to get started. Okay, and the first page I'm going to land on is this. We call this the listing page. Now, every listing that I have set up in my account is going to show up on this page. If you guys are just getting started, you're not going to have any listings set up yet. That's fine. But once you do have listings set up, they're always going to show up on the listing page, and they're always going to be divided into 2 columns, 1 and 2. The columns are just separated by listings that already have whatever product we're doing, and the listings that do not already have that product, okay? So in this case, these listings here, I've already ordered photo shoots for those at another time. These listings in this column, I've already set up in my account. Maybe I was, maybe I didn't want to do a photo shoot. I just wanted to do an e-flyer and I took my own pictures. So I created the listing. The listing will always be saved in the account, okay? So if I decide that, you know what, those pictures I took on my iPhone kind of stink, they look really bad, I think I am going to go in and order a photo shoot. The listing is already in here. I can just hit select and carry on through the process, okay? So whatever product we go into, the first page we land on will always have all of our listings. You'll see this repeated over and over again. And that's something else we do with our system. We try to repeat things and go through the process the same way for most of our products just to make it easier for you guys. Once you get the hang of ordering one product, it's going to be easy for you to order all of them because they all kind of follow the same formula. All right, so let's say you haven't set up your listing yet. You just got it. You haven't ordered anything. You haven't made any products. You need to create the listing. Right here, we can click on Create Listing. It's going to bring us to this page, which we just call the Property Details page. Basically, it has all the information about your property. Now, looking at this page right now, there's a lot of fields to fill in. I'm in a hurry. I've got a meeting in 10 minutes, but I really want to book this photo shoot. No problem. You'll notice right here, only the fields underlined in green are required to move forward, and there's only 4 of them. So basically, we just need the property address, and then you can move on. You can always come back to this page, and I'll show you how to fill in all the rest of the information. But if you've only got 10 minutes and you just want to get this shoot booked, all you have to do is fill in these 4 fields, and let's just make up an address. Let's just call this 111, let's just say Friday Street, okay? And let's just say that we are in Austin, Texas, and then here is my zip code, okay? So as soon as I filled in those 4 fields, I can move on. Now I get a little pop-up asking me if I want to put my listing on House Hunt, and I'll explain what House Hunt is later. Basically, it's a little marketing tool that you guys can use. It's just a souped-up Google map that will showcase all of your listings with nice little pictures and a link to your virtual tour and a link to all of your contact information. So it's just something you can use as a marketing thing. You don't have to put your listings on House Hunt, but why not? It's free and you don't have to do anything. And then you can always send a link. People can look at all of your listings if they're in your virtual tour and stuff. So I'm going to keep it at yes. And I can choose the date. I'm good to go with today. Maybe my listing's not ready to go live for another week, so I would choose next week. You can just tick next week, and then your listing will show up on the house hunt site next week. You can control this, okay? If you don't want it, just click no. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's just a freebie that we do for people for advertising. I'll click save. That gets rid of my little pop-up, but now I have my create listing button, okay? It wasn't there before. I couldn't move past this page because I had to fill in those 4 fields. Now I can click create listing. Now the listing is going to be created and it's set up in our website, and no matter what I do, no matter where I go, that listing will always be there. So if I go into eFlyers, if I decide to abandon this right now and go into eFlyers, that listing will be there because I created it. So that's another thing we do. We don't like our clients to have to do things more than once, right? So once you create your listing, it's in the system until you manually delete it. Okay, so once I created my listing, I'm now on the page that shows all of our available photographers that service the zip code for my listing. So that's why we needed you to fill in the address, because not all of our photographers service every zip code. We have photographers in different cities and different states. Not everybody's going to cover every listing, but these photographers cover this zip code. So I can scroll down and take a look at who's available. Okay, I can click and watch a virtual tour of their portfolios. I can see the dates that they're available on their calendar, and I can click and look at what their pricing is. Now this will pop up and show me the different packages that each photographer offers and the different prices. So David, who I clicked on, he's got a basic small package. So this is for houses that are up to 2,000 square feet. It includes 25 pictures and it's $125. Okay, so really for 125 bucks, you'll get amazing photographs. David is probably our most popular photographer. He's probably our busiest one in the Austin area. So most of the photographers will have very similar packages, and their prices are all pretty similar as well because they're all, basically in competition with each other. They all know each other. So they're, that's kind of how it goes. So you can scroll through and take a look at David's packages. He does high dynamic photography. He does twilight photography. If you've ever seen twilight shoots, they look really nice with the lights on at the house and stuff. They're a little pricier, obviously. David also does aerials, so he has a drone. He'll go out and do aerial shoots as well. And then he does some a la carte, and he also does 3D photo shoots. If you've ever heard of Matterport, we'll get into that later. So yeah, if you want to look at their packages and their pricing, you just click on the pricing, and that's basically it. So we're going to choose a date. Let's say I want to get this done as soon as possible, and David's my guy. For whatever reason, I like David. Maybe I use him all the time. Maybe someone recommended him. Let's just choose David. And I can see his next open appointment is the 16th, Monday. So I'm going to click on that because that's the one I want. Next up, it brings me to the actual order page where I'm actually going to tick the product that I want, the package. Let's say this is just a small listing, and I just want to go with the small package. I just tick it, scroll down to the bottom of my page, and hit continue. Next up is a page where I can give David any special instructions for how he's going to access the property, okay? So maybe there's a lockbox. If there is, I would just tick this and fill in the code. Maybe David's going to meet me at the property, and you'll notice, look, my phone number has been auto-populated. You'll see this as we go through the process. Because I filled in my account information, I don't have to then type in my phone number. Now, if I have a different phone number that I want David to use, these fields are editable. So I can always update that and change it. But if that's the phone number, I don't have to touch it. It's done. Or maybe the owner will be home and I can fill in the owner's name and the owner's phone number, right? So you get the idea. This is where I just give David some instructions. Maybe the owner just had their landscaping done and they really want to make sure that David gets some pictures of the new gardens, right? I can type in instructions. Maybe there's a dog in the yard, whatever you need to tell them, okay? Any more information, we put it on this page. When we're done, we hit add to shopping cart. Okay, now I'm in the shopping cart, and basically that's it. So as you can see, it only takes a minute to set up your listing with just those 4 required fields, choose your photographer and the date that you want. And like I said, a lot of our agents, they establish a relationship with a particular photographer, and they'll often just choose that same photographer over and over again. They'll often choose the same package over and over again. So you go in there, you pick your guy, you pick your package, you end up in the shopping cart. You can do this in 5 minutes. All I have to do to complete my order is just pay for it, and then it's done. Okay, that means that the photo shoot will then be booked. I will get an email saying with the invoice details confirming that it's been booked, and it has all of my shoot details. It has David's contact phone number, everything that I need to know. David also gets all of this information. It all gets automatically sent into his scheduling system. It's all worked into our back end. So it's all done automatically for both you and the photographer. Makes your life easy. Okay, so one thing I didn't mention, and another reason why you should order a professional photo shoot, in addition to getting all the amazing pictures, you also get a platinum virtual tour for free. And it doesn't matter what package, what photography package you order. You could order the cheapest photography package available. You will still get a free platinum tour, which is worth $30, okay? So not only do you get the great pictures, you get a free tour that's going to feature all of those amazing pictures. The other nice thing about doing this as well, once David has finished your photo shoot and he's ready to get you the pictures, there's no messy sending photos to you. He doesn't have to zip them and send you a folder. He doesn't have to upload them to Dropbox and then you don't know how to get them out of Dropbox. None of that happens. We have an entire back end set up where David uploads all of your pictures into your account and creates the virtual tour for you. Once that's done, you'll get an email saying, "Hi, Jana, your virtual tour is ready to go." Then I can go into the system and I can see my virtual tour created. Now, David's not going to do all the bells and whistles for the tour, but he's uploaded the pictures and put them in order. I can then go in and add captions, music, extra doodads, all that stuff, and I get the live links. But the point is, I don't have to try to get those pictures from David, which can be a hassle. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to use Dropbox and unzipping folders. It's just a pain. This way, your pictures are already saved in your Realtor account and your virtual tour is already done, unless you want to add, extra stuff to it, which you can do, and I'll show you that next. It's all done for you. It's super, couldn't be easier, really. Okay? So that is the process of ordering a photo shoot and getting your free virtual tour. Now I'm going to delete this out of if you ever have something in your shopping cart that you don't want, just delete it. It's gone. I'm deleting this so we don't accidentally order a photo shoot from David and confuse him. Okay, that was ordering the photo shoot. I'm back on my dashboard page. I got here just by clicking on the Realtor logo. Next up is the virtual tour. So if I want to make a virtual tour or access one of my existing tours, I just click on the virtual tour button and it brings me into the listing page. Now remember this page? This was the same page we landed on when I clicked on photo shoots. Only in this case, it has all of my listings, just like it did for photo shoots, but it's got them organized a little differently because for most of my listings, I have made a virtual tour. So most of my listings are sitting in this column. If I scroll down, you'll see all of my listings that I have set up. And I only have one listing that does not have a virtual tour, and that is the one we just created, the 111 Friday Street. Remember, I didn't go through with it. I deleted it out of my shopping cart. So there's no pictures for it or anything yet, but the listing still exists, right? So I don't have to go in and do the listing again. It just says it's waiting for images. It's basically waiting for everything because I haven't done anything to it. Okay. Now to save us a little bit of time today, because it is a bit of a process, I'm going to choose one of my existing listings that already has stuff in it, and I'll go through the process, okay, of making my virtual tour. But again, I could always go in and edit this one that I just made and upload all my pictures and type in all my text and all that stuff. Or if I didn't order a photo shoot, if I already have my own pictures, maybe I've got another photographer that I work with who's not a Realtor photographer, that's fine. You can create the listing. Maybe you didn't create it because you didn't do a photo shoot. You can create the listing and then you can upload your own pictures. So just so you know, you guys, you do not have to use our photographers. You can take your own pictures on your own camera or you can hire your own photographer. It doesn't matter. You can still use all of our products with your own pictures. Okay, so to save us some time, I'm going to use one of my demo listings. I'm going to use this one right here, 123 Anywhere Avenue. Now to get into the virtual tour, I just click on Edit the Tour. Couldn't be easier. Okay, now it brings me into the back end of the virtual tour creator. This page might look a little bit familiar. This is the property details page. It's the exact same page that we saw when we created our photo shoot and we had to fill in those 4 fields. Only this is what the page looks like when you filled in all the information, right? It looks a lot nicer. Now, one thing I want to go through, when you're in the back end of any of our products, we have what we call a navigation bar that goes across the top of the page. This is so you can navigate throughout the product. Whatever it is you're making, e-flyer, virtual tour, you can jump around. You'll always start at the beginning, but you can always jump ahead to something else. And a lot of these features you'll see are optional. If I don't want to do floor plans, I don't want a flyer, I don't want to do any branding or SEO, I can just do my property details, check my photos, and then jump right to the end, okay? If that's what I want to do. Okay, but for today, we're going to go through each process because it's very exciting and it's new for you guys. So property details page, I've already filled in all the stuff. Okay, this page is good to go. Next up, photos. So I'm just going to click on the navigation bar and it brings me to the photos page. This is where all of my media, my imagery is. Okay, and we have a tab for each kind of media. Photos is just regular still photography. Okay, either the photographer has taken the pictures for you, in which case, when you come into your virtual tour, you're going to see your pictures right here. The photographer will upload them and create the tour. So your pictures are already sitting here in the tour. Easy peasy. Next up, panos. So panos are just those panorama shots that are like three. If I mouse over, you can see a big one. Basically, it's when the photographer sets up his camera on a tripod and it spins and does a 360-degree view of the room or the property. So you can have panos if you want. If you have a video of your property, you can upload videos here, okay? I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matterport, but you can, a lot of our photographers offer Matterport tours. Basically, it's an amazing feature that gives you like a 3D walkthrough experience. It's like going to an open house on your computer. I can show you a sample of one if you want to see, but they're really amazing, and a lot of our photographers do Matterport tours, okay? So if you have a Matterport tour, you just paste the code for it in here, and your photographer will do that for you probably because you'll have ordered it through him. Walkthrough is a new feature that we have. There's nothing on this page to show you because this tour doesn't have one, but I can show you our walkthrough tour. It's similar to Matterport, but it's sort of it's a simpler version and it's a lot more affordable. So that's the difference. Matterport, the product is amazing, but it's pretty pricey. Walkthrough gives you a similar scenario, but it's a lot less expensive. So depending on the listing, you may only want to shell out for a walkthrough tour. Floor plans. If you happen to have a floor plan for your property, you can upload a JPEG or a PNG or PDF of your floor plan right here and have that in your tour. And then again, headshots and logos. These are the exact same headshots and logos that I uploaded under my account. But if you didn't bother to do it under my account, you have the chance to do it here in your tour. Same thing if you're making an e-flyer, you'll be able to upload headshots and logos. People like to do things in all different ways. Me personally, I would go into my account when I first set up and get everything all in there at the very beginning, but not everybody does that. Some people like to just do a one-off, so they'll just upload one headshot when they're in the tour, one logo when they're in the tour, and they're good to go. Okay, let's go back to our Photos tab. Now, a couple things you should know. The order that the pictures are in right here is the order they're going to play in the tour. So this is your first picture, second, third, fourth, so on and so on. Scroll down, I probably have like, I don't know, I have quite a few pictures in here, probably 30. Okay, but you can change the order of them. You just click on a thumbnail here and you can move them around. Maybe I want this one here. Maybe I want it way down here. It's up to you. So you can play around in here, change the order. If there's a picture that you don't want, see how there's a delete button? You can just delete it. Okay, so it's gone. Now it's not in the tour anymore. Okay, you can also, we've added a few little features like this little button here. You can rotate it. A lot of people take pictures on their phones. They upload them and they're in portrait mode and they're flipped on their side. So you can rotate the picture if you have one of those. You can download individual pictures if you want as well, because down here at the bottom, we have the upload images and download. This download feature, you'd have to download all of them. Right? So typically you can choose from the different sizes. Typically people would use this if they want to download all these pictures and then re-upload them into maybe their MLS or something, in which case it makes more sense to just choose this option and download all of them at once into a zipped file. However, if you just want to download one individual picture and send it to someone, you can do that as well with the download button here. Uploading your images, if you're using your own images, or if you're using a combination, maybe a photographer did 25 pictures, but the person who owns the house, your client, has 3 or 4 pictures they also want you to include, you can just click upload images, navigate to wherever you've got those images. On my desktop, I have a folder called images. Maybe there's a picture in here that I want to include, like this one of the swimming pool. I just click it and then hit go. Now, I don't have to do these one at a time. I could select all of these and upload them all at the same time if I want to, okay? But I'll just do one. Okay, as it's uploading, it'll upload it and show it at the very bottom. There it goes. So there's my new picture of the pool. If I want to move it over here, I can. Okay? Super easy. There's one more thing you can do on this page. You'll notice a link that says add or edit caption. If you would like to add captions for your pictures, you just click on that link and we've got a little caption editor that pops up so you can see what you're doing because everything is so small. If you want to add a caption, you just type right here, adding a caption. Okay, now obviously you're not going to want to add a paragraph of text because this is a virtual tour. The pictures only show for a couple seconds. But if you want to just add a little bit of text to highlight a feature in the picture, like maybe there's a beautiful skylight or the new hardwood floors, something, you can add a little line of text right here. You can choose between different fonts. So we have a few different fonts you can choose. If I want to do this in Georgia, okay, and you'll notice when I added my text, it shows up, a little demo shows up on the picture, so I get an idea of what it will look like, okay? So it's just that easy. Now, captions are optional. If you don't want to do captions, you don't have to. And you can go through every image if you want by going previous or next and add a caption to every picture if you want. Or you can do some and some not. Okay, so it's not an all or nothing, right? You can do some not. When you want to get out of here, you can just close to get out. If you want to change it, if you ever want to change your caption, go right back in. There's the one we just did. Maybe I just don't want to do it. I'm going to delete it entirely. It's gone. Now I close. Now it's gone. Now there's no caption. Okay? So everything is really easy to use. You'll notice that there is not a save button in here. We've done that just to make everyone's life easier. Basically, every time you click on something or make a change, our system saves it automatically. So you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I didn't hit save. I've just spent 15 minutes adding captions. They're probably all lost. They'll never be lost. Everything is always saved. Also, if at any time you need to abandon what you're working on because you have a meeting or something, you can always log out, be gone, abandon the tour right now. It doesn't matter. You can come back tomorrow, log into your account, go to virtual tours, and your tour will be there. It'll be left at exactly the same spot that you had it at before. Okay, so everything is automatically saved in our system. One more thing I should mention on this page, you have the option of starting your tour with either your still imagery, your video, or your panel walkthrough or your Matterport tour. So some people will get a video done and a beautiful video that they've hired someone to do, and maybe you want to start the tour with the video and then you want the photos to follow. You can do that presentation if you want. So you can just tick whichever one you want it to start with. I'm just going to tick photos for now. Okay, so we've just done property details, photos. Now we're going to do the map. The map is done for us. We don't have to do anything. Basically, we've pulled up a Google map. This little red marker shows us where our listing is, okay? And again, this is a fake address, but apparently it shows up in Austin. Now, if the marker is in the correct place, you're done. You're good to go. You can move on. Sometimes Google doesn't quite get it right. If it's a new subdivision or something, they don't have the streets quite right, in which case you can click on the little marker and just shift it. Maybe it's actually right there. That's where it's supposed to be. Done. So now I've just corrected the map and I'm good to go. That's all you have to do for your Google map. Next up, floor plans. Now, as I mentioned, this is totally optional, okay? If you don't have a floor plan, you can just skip this step. I don't even know how many people use the floor plan thing. I uploaded, if you remember, on the photos page, on the floor plan tab, I had uploaded 2 different floor plans. Here they are, 1 and 2. So if I want to do the floor plan feature, my floor plans will show up here and all of my images show up here as well. All I do, if I want, I could just have the floor plan nice and plain and leave it at that. But if I want to illustrate the floor plan with my photos, I can drag and drop the photos onto the floor plan. When I dragged that picture over, it turned into a camera icon. If I click on the camera icon, I get a little pop-up of the picture that I dragged over there. So really, you're just kind of illustrating the floor plan. So when someone is watching the tour, they can go, oh, that's the dining room. What does it look like? Click on your camera and up it pops. Okay, and you can spend 10 minutes dragging and dropping all kinds of pictures and putting them in the right place, there's the deck, onto your floor plan. Okay, if you ever want to delete one, when you mouse over, there's a little X, delete it, the picture shows up back over here. Okay, that's how you do the floor plan. Really, really easy if you want to include it. Next up, flyer. So this is for either an e-flyer or a print flyer. If you have made a flyer already, and some people will have done that. Some people start off with the flyers, right? They might go in and make the flyer first and then make a virtual tour. Doesn't matter. If you already have a flyer, a little thumbnail of all the flyers and print materials in your account for this listing are going to show up right here. So as you can see, I can scroll down. I've got some postcards. I've got some flyers made. Okay, if I want to include one of my flyers as a PDF with the virtual tour, I just click the one I want, I drag it over. Now when someone's watching my tour, they'll be able to go to the flyer page and they'll be able to download a PDF of this flyer if they want. Okay, this is optional. If you don't want to include a flyer, just skip this step. If you do want to include a flyer, but you want to finish the tour first, finish your tour, and then exit the virtual tour, go into the flyer, make your flyer, come back to the virtual tour. It'll show up here, drag and drop it over. Good to go, okay? Super easy. Next up, branding. So we have a few small options you can do to brand your tour a little bit. So this is a little mock-up of what your tour is going to look like. Over here on the right, we allow you to choose between showing one agent or two. Most people are just one agent, but once in a while you get people who have a partner, in which case they would want two agents. If I tick two agents, it's going to refresh. Now I can have two agents on my listing, okay? If I want to change my headshot, now again, this is taking headshots and contact information from my account, okay? So this is another place where it auto-populates. So here's my headshot. If I want to change my headshot, I can just click there and it shows me a little pop-up window of all of the headshots I have already uploaded. I can just click on one and it just changes it automatically, and then this refreshes. Okay, same with my partner, same with my logo. I can pick whatever I want and the logo just automatically populates. This refreshes, there's the logo. Now, this is auto-populated with my name and phone number and email from my account. My partner is not in my account, their contact information, so I would have to type them in. But these fields are all editable. So even for myself, if I, for whatever reason, wanted people to phone me on a different number for this listing, I can just click in here and just add, whatever particular phone number that is, click away, it's all saved. Okay, and this updates right here so I can check. So super easy to brand it with your headshot logo. Down here in the bottom, we have different color themes for our player. So if I click a different color, it's going to regenerate in a different color, okay? And you can pick a color that matches your logo, or you can pick a color that matches the, the feel of the house, whatever you want, okay? So that's what we do on the branding page. Pretty simple. You can do this in just a couple minutes. Next up is SEO. This is another optional feature, but I can't tell you how important it is to take 5 minutes and put some SEO into your tour. SEO stands for search engine optimization. People are becoming more and more familiar with it. When I used to do tutorials like 5 or 6 years ago, SEO was unknown to most people. And it was like, what does that even mean? Basically, what you can do is take some keywords about your listing, punch them in here to this field, and then when someone does a search, when someone goes up to Google up here and they're searching the internet for a 4-bedroom house in downtown Austin with a media room and a pool, those keywords will find your tour, and then your tour results, the search results are going to show your tour somewhere near the top. If you don't put any keywords in, you could be anywhere, like they're not going to find you. So it only takes a minute to do it. Now, what we've done to make your life even easier, this text right here, up here, is your listing description. It's the listing description that I filled in back here on the property details page, right? It's right here on the SEO page. So if you can't think of any keywords, you can just take keywords out of your listing description and dump them in here, okay? So we're just making it easier for you. Otherwise, just type in a bunch of words. I don't think there's a limit to how many. You could have 10 words, you could have 5. When you're done, update them so we always have the most recent ones, okay? And then you can move on. Again, this is optional, but I would take 5 minutes and just put in the most basic words so people have a better chance of finding your virtual tour online. Okay, next, music. Also totally optional. However, anybody who's watched a virtual tour, they're kind of nice when they have some background music. It just kind of adds to the experience. We have a whole bunch of music. We just added these two, the country folk and the classical, just from people asking for it. So we've added some new samples. If you want to listen to the music, you can just click on the play button and it will play. Now you guys probably can't hear that because I have a headset on, but I can hear it through my headset. So when you go in, you can just listen to the ones you like, find one you like and just tick beside it, and that's the song that will play. If you do not want music, just tick no music. We've also, to make your life easier, whatever you've chosen, that will be remembered. Your music selection will be remembered when you make another tour. We find that agents often find a favorite. They do this with everything. They have a favorite photographer. They have a favorite piece of music for their tour. They have a favorite flyer. They like to use the same ones. So this is the kind of stuff that we do because we know our clients and we want to make their lives easier. We will save your music. So if you want to use the same music over and over again because it's your favorite, you don't have to go, oh my God, what music did I have last time? I totally can't remember. We just do that for you. Okay? Music. All right, so we've just gone through setting up all the content for our tour. Next is proof. Now all we do on this page is click, and we get a little pop-up window that's showing a little mini version of our tour. This is our chance to go through the tour and proof it and make sure everything is the way we want it to be. Because the tour is live in your Real Tour account, but it's not on the internet anywhere else until we put it there. Okay? That's so you have a chance to watch it. You can send it to your client, get them to look at it. What do you think? So on and so forth, tweak it, and then you can put it out there live. So I can watch the slideshow. I've got music playing. You guys probably can't hear that. When I mouse over, I get some controls. So I can turn off the music and I can stop the tour. Once I've stopped the tour, I get all these little icons that are for each feature we added in the back end. So everything we just went through, that was the back end of the tour. Nobody sees that but you. The people watching the tour are only going to see the front end, okay? So if I want to click on property details, here's the property details page from the front end. Looks a little different from the back end. If I had a video, I can watch my video here. My floor plans, here's my little floor plan. Now, it was this one that I added cameras to. That's what it looks like. Ah, that's what the living room looks like. Awesome. Close it. I'm back in the floor plan. Okay. My little map, my little Google map. This is actually the house hunt. Remember house hunt at the very beginning, where I had when I created my listing, I had the option of showing this on house hunt or not. If I tick yes, then I mean you're always going to have your listing on house hunt. Here it is right there. But if you tick yes for all your listings, the person looking at this can say, oh, I want to see all of this agent's listings. Then if I click on that, it's going to show all 5, 6, 10, 15 listings that I have on this. And this is a Google map, so they can navigate around inside it as well. So that's why I always say, you might as well put your listings on House Hunt. It's free. It's just one more place that people can see all of your listings. It's just marketing and advertising for you. Forward this to a friend. If someone's watching the tour and they really like it and they want to send it to their husband or their sister or their best friend, they can just put in their name, email address, hit go, and a link to this tour will be emailed to them so they can then click on it and watch the tour as well. Little print flyer. Remember, I included a flyer with my tour. So right now I can print this or download a PDF of the flyer. Remember guys, a lot of these things are optional. If I didn't choose this, then these little buttons just won't be here. They're only here when you choose it, okay? Contact information. This was another thing I didn't have to set up in the back end. Our system just does it automatically. So your headshot, all your contact information, a link to your website. If you put your website in my account, if you didn't, that button won't be there. And if someone wants to email you. You can also fill in a little bit of feedback. So you can put your name, email address, your comments. You can fill in a little questionnaire, what you liked about the property, so on and so forth, and submit it. You can also request a showing by clicking Request Showing. You get a little calendar for the next 2 weeks. Pick a date like, you know what, I really want to see this house and I want to see it tomorrow. I tick Saturday. I want to see it first thing in the morning. Submit. Now me, the agent, I will get an email saying that, you know, whoever just is requesting to see this, here's their information. Then I can contact that person and set up their tour. Now remember, we're just in the view proof. This is a pop-up window, right? I can move it around. If I close the pop-up window, I'm still in the back end of the tour. So that was just to proof the tour and make sure we didn't make any mistakes or want to make any changes. If we do want to make changes, no problem. We're in the back end. We can jump back using the navigation bar to fix stuff. Maybe the property details, I realize that I made a mistake. You know, I can go back and fix it. Photos. I want to change the order of my photos and I noticed a typo in one of my captions. I can just click, fix my typo, move my pictures around, do whatever it is I need to do, okay? Then I can watch the proof again, make sure it's good to go, so on and so forth, okay? So you have the ability to jump around. Once we're good to go with our proof and we're happy with it, next up is the links page. Now this is a page where you just get all of the links and all the extra stuff for your tour. Because as I said, once your tour is created and paid for, it's still only live in your Realtor account. So we call it an active listing, but don't be confused. It's not anywhere else on the internet until you put it there. Okay, because some people want to come in and make their tour, have it paid for, have it good to go, but they're not ready to advertise it yet. They don't want to put it on the MLS. They don't want to put it on YouTube, not yet. But that's okay. You can still have your tour live and good to go in your Realtor account. The links page has all of these different tabs, okay? The first one is just called links. These are the links to the actual virtual tour. If I click this link right now, it's going to open up and play my tour. Now, the difference between these two, one is branded, so it has my headshot, my logo, all my stuff. One is unbranded, does not have your headshot and logo, okay? So you can choose between the two. Some MLSs allow branded, some do not, okay? We also give you some more code if you want to embed your tour into a web page or your website, something like that. If you have a website of your own and you have a web developer, or you can do it yourself, you can take your code for your tour right here on this page and embed it into your own website. Okay, so these are the links for your tour. Next tab is realtor.com. If you want to send your tour to realtor.com, you just put your MLS number in the box and hit go. Usually within 24 hours, usually a lot less than that, but say 24 hours is pretty much the max, your tour will show up on realtor.com, okay? If you want a domain name for your virtual tour, now let me just go back to links. Right now, the URL for this tour is this, right? So it's vtour, realtor.biz, blah, blah, blah. It's not the nicest looking URL. Some people are really sensitive to that. They want something that looks better. You can go into domain name. You can type in whatever, fridaystreet.com. If it's available, you can purchase that. It's an extra $20 though, right? It's not free. But if you really want it, you can see if it's available. If it's available, you can hit go and it'll add that 20 bucks to your shopping cart. And then going forward, that'll be your URL for this tour, www.fridaystreet.com. Okay, this is an extra goodie. Some agents use it, most don't bother because most people are just clicking on a button to view the virtual tour. They never actually see what the link looks like, right? Optional. QR codes. For every tour you make, we generate a QR code. If you want to use it, go for it. You can download a JPEG of it, send it to the person who makes your signage, put it on any marketing material you want. I don't know how many people are even using QR codes anymore, but we still have it for those who want it. Facebook. A lot of people are starting to put their tours and stuff onto Facebook, okay? Now, if you haven't done it before, you are going to have to go in and create a Facebook page. Most people will go into Facebook and make a page called My Listings or something, My Real Estate Listings, right? You can connect to Facebook right here, create your page, and then there'll be a button that just says go, and away you go. And you just click it and your tour will show up on Facebook with this property description and a beautiful picture and a link to watch your virtual tour, okay? Step by step, it's really easy to do. Same thing with YouTube. Now I've already sent this tour to YouTube just to test it out. If you haven't done it before, there'll be a button in here that you just click to authorize Realtor to send your virtual tour to your YouTube channel. If you do not have a YouTube channel of your own, we have a YouTube channel that we will host your tour on. No big deal, okay? So what we do is we take the virtual tour and we turn it into a video because YouTube only allows videos, and then we post it onto YouTube. You can watch your video on YouTube, you can download it. If you ever make changes to your virtual tour, you can regenerate it, so the one on YouTube is always the most recent one, okay? House Hunt, I just showed you guys. Whoops, it's my phone. I just showed you guys what House Hunt looks like. So basically, if you decided, maybe when you first set up the listing, you tick no, I don't want this on House Hunt. But if in here you do want it to go on House Hunt, you can tick yes. If you want to see what your listing looks like just on House Hunt, not in the virtual tour player, here's a link that you can click on, and it'll just open up a full screen Google map with all your House Hunt listings. Okay, and you can use that for marketing if you want. Matterport. If I ordered a Matterport 3D tour from my photographer or someone's got one they can send me, this is where I can get my Matterport links. These links are live, so I can click right here and watch my Matterport tour. Or if I want to send the link to my agent. Maybe my client wants to see the Matterport tour just separate on its own, not embedded in the tour. They just want to have it on their own. I can get the link for that here. Again, if I want to embed that Matterport tour into my website or someplace else, I've got embed code as well. Last but not least, statistics. Every Monday, we send out to you guys, the agent, a statistics report. It has all of your listings in it. You can click on a specific listing, and then you can see how many hits you got on your virtual tour or your e-flyer. Or if you send out newsletters, anything that you blast out in our system, we will record how many people have looked at it or clicked on it, that kind of thing. Okay, so you will get that automatically every Monday. However, you might want your client to also receive that specific report. You don't want them to see all of your listings. You just want them to see the statistics for this particular listing. So you can fill in their name, their email address, click go, and now that person will get stats for this listing every Monday. Okay? Just so they can keep track of what's going on, how many people are looking at their tour, so on and so forth. Okay, now that is it. That is a lot of information to take on. The virtual tour is by far our most complicated product. So I always start with this while people are still more or less awake and we go through it, and it's a lot of stuff. But as I mentioned, most of these options are optional. Okay, and we have 4 different tours you can choose from. I'm showing you the Platinum Tour, the $30 tour, which comes free if you order a photo shoot and has all the bells and whistles. If you have a really small listing and you have your own pictures, you can get our simplest tour, which is a bronze tour. It's only $10. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but that's okay. If you're not going to use them anyway, no problem. You can still fill in the property details, upload your pictures, choose some music, and be done with it. And that's what a lot of agents will use. Maybe they don't want all the stuff. They just want to get a tour out there that has pictures, a bit of music, and they're good to go. It's only $10 for the bronze, okay? So yeah, I just showed you the most complicated and big tour just so you could see what the possibilities were. You don't ever have to order that one if you don't want to. All right, I'm back on the dashboard. So we've done the photo shoot, we've done the virtual tour, now we're going to do the e-flyer. Now don't panic, I know it's getting a bit late. E-flyers and print materials are made in the exact same way. So really I'll show you the e-flyer and then that's basically it. I'll do a quick run through of print material, but it's basically the same process as e-flyer. So most of our agents do a photo shoot, they then get their virtual tour good to go, and then they'll do an e-flyer that they'll blast out to the real estate community that links to the virtual tour. So this is how they get the word out to everybody that they've just got a listing and they want everyone to see it. When I'm ready to make my e-flyer, I just click here to get started. Yet again, I'm on the listing page, right? So it's the same process every time. Here are all of my listings. I only have one listing that I've ever done an e-flyer for, okay? All of my other listings are sitting here. They don't have e-flyers with them. That's fine. If I only use Realtor for e-flyers, and some of our clients do, you would just come in here and create your listing and start from scratch and away you go. And we do have clients who don't use us for photography or tours. They just use us for e-flyers. Totally fine. Totally up to you. Now, to save us some time, let's take our 123 Anywhere Avenue, the one that we just did the tour for, and let's make an e-flyer for it. Now, your options are to create a new e-flyer, or you could go in and edit an existing e-flyer. Maybe you did an e-flyer a month ago, and the person has dropped the price or something, and you don't want to remake the whole flyer. You just want to go in, edit, change the price, and blast it out again. You can do that as well, okay? You can always check your statistics, and once a listing has been sold, you can always set that to inactive so that it no longer shows up with your active listings. This does not delete the listing out of your account. It just moves it to the inactive listings page, and you can access that page by clicking here. You can reactivate a listing, or you can delete a listing entirely to get it out of your account. If you're the kind of person that likes to have your account neat and tidy, you don't want extra stuff, delete them. We have agents who have hundreds of listings sitting on their inactive page because they are afraid to delete them. Doesn't matter, that's up to you. Okay, so those are the things you can do. Right now, I'm going to create a new e-flyer for my 123 Anywhere Street. Okay, so it has dumped me into the back end of the e-flyer creator. It has taken me right to the template library page. The reason it has done that is because I already have the property details and I already have existing e-flyers for this listing. This is my test listing. I have all this stuff. But you'll notice, just like the virtual tour, I've got a navigation bar across the top of the page so I can jump around throughout the process. I could jump back to property details if I wanted to. Notice it's the exact same property details page as the one from the virtual tour, which just makes sense. Why would you have to make a whole new property details page for a listing that you already set up in the system? We never make you do stuff twice. It's just silly and it's a waste of time. If I have any existing e-flyers that I've already made, they're going to show up on this page, okay? So this is an existing e-flyer that I already sent out to everybody. And if I want, I can resend it again. I can go in and edit it and then resend it. I can delete it, or I can download the PDF. Once you blast out an e-flyer and have paid for it, you get a free PDF. So you can always download the PDF and print it and hand it out at your open house if you want. Any e-flyers that are in progress. So I've started the e-flyer, but I haven't blasted it out yet. I'm not ready. I want to wait till Monday. Doesn't matter. I can come into the system, make the e-flyer, and then just let it sit here. When I'm ready, I would go in, edit, and then go right to shopping cart and get it out there. Okay? So we'll always hold on to all the e-flyers that you make. You can make a dozen e-flyers just practicing. That's okay. And then you can go in and delete them all. That's another thing I always tell agents when you're just getting started. Feel free to come into our system and you can make a virtual tour, you can make a flyer. You never have to pay for anything. It's just like all of these things I've made, I'm not paying for them. I'm just creating them to do a demo to show people. And you can do the same thing. And when you're done, you just delete it. Just never send anything to the shopping cart. So it's a good way to practice. Okay, so property details is done. I've got some existing flyers. However, I want to do a brand new flyer. I don't want to work on either of these. So I'm going to go to my template library. The template library is set up like this. We've got all these different categories over on the left. If you click on a different category, you're going to get some of them have subcategories. You're going to get the flyers that go with each one. For example, Texas, Austin. These are all of the Austin flyers, okay? Let's go back up to new flyers. Let's just close that. Let's go back up to some new flyers. So these are pretty small, right? It's pretty hard to see. If I want to see it a bit bigger, I can click on preview and it'll open up a pop-up of the e-flyer that's already populated with a bunch of information just to give me an idea of what this e-flyer will look like or could look like when I put my own information in it. So you can go through the library and take a look at all the flyers. When you find one you like, you can simply click on select. So let's do this one. Let's just click select. Okay, the system is generating the e-flyer. It takes a few seconds because the system is going to auto-populate my flyer template with as much information as it can get from the system. So it's done. Now we are in the edit template, okay? Now you'll notice when you look at my little e-flyer over here on the right, the address is already there. My property description is here. My headshot, all my contact information. My QR code is here because I already have a virtual tour for this, so the system generates a QR code. My logo, a lot of the stuff is already auto-populated, and again, it's auto-populated it from my account and also from the property details page. Now, some people will come in and make a flyer and they never fill in the property details information. That's fine, you don't have to. You'll notice as I mouse over all of these fields, they're all active. So if I didn't want to bother filling the stuff in on property details, I can just click on a text box. I get a little pop-up window and I can type in the text right here if I want. I can copy and paste it from somewhere else if I have it in a Word doc or something. I can do a few minor edits in here. You'll see we've got a few little editing tools. I can do a numbered list, bullets. Maybe I want to center this text for some reason. Maybe I want to bold it. I can change the font size. So you can do a few basic things in the flyer. Once I hit OK, the flyer is going to render all of my changes and it's going to update right here in front of me. The nice thing about this is that I never have to leave this page. Every time I make a change, the system re-renders my changes and I get to see what my flyer is going to look like, the finished product, which is just amazing. So I can go through and change all of my text fields if I want to. I can even leave them blank. You know, maybe over here I don't want this bulleted list. I can just go in and delete the text and hit OK, and then I just have a white space. Not a white space, but the background of the flyer just shows through, right? If I ever want to bring it back, I just mouse over and I can click and do it again. If there's anything on the flyer I don't want, maybe I don't want that QR code. You'll notice there's a little X next to everything. I can delete that QR code, okay? It's going to delete the QR code and turn it into an image field. I can add a different image there if I want. Maybe I have a second logo that I want to put there instead. If I don't want anything there, I can also delete the image field itself and then just have the red background will show up. Now we don't see this here. We have to have this in case you change your mind and want to restore it. So we haven't removed it entirely. You can restore it. You'll notice it's gone when we get to our proof page. Okay, so all that's missing from this flyer at this point are my images. Now over here on my little photo bucket, as we call it, here are all of my images that I've already uploaded for this listing. They were all uploaded from the virtual tour, which is why they all show up here. I never have to upload them again. However, if I'm only using Realtor to make e-flyers and I don't have pictures already uploaded, I can just click Upload Images and upload them. And I can have photos and floor plans in here. Again, my headshots and logos, it's the same headshots and logos for my account, but they're here. If I wanted to have a different headshot, I can just click in here and drag and drop one over. So that's how we populate the images in our flyer. We drag and drop. So let's say I like this picture of the house. I want that to be in my main image field. I drag, drop it over, boom, there it is. Okay, I go through all of my other pictures. Let's see, oh, I want a bedroom shot, gonna put that there. Oh, and I want a nice deck shot. Done. I've dragged and dropped them over. I hit refresh. System is now going to render all of these pictures, place them nicely. Once it's done, I get to see this is what my product, basically my finished product is going to look like. Now you'll notice once I dragged my images over, these all have little captions. So I can then click on these text fields and change the captions, or I can delete them if I don't want them. Okay? And you'll notice there's my price. It was sitting on top of my picture. Okay, so let's just say we're done. We think we're done anyway. Next up on the navigation bar is View Proof. Click on View Proof. You'll get a much bigger image right here. Basically, this is pretty much full size what your e-flyer is going to look like. I cannot stress enough the importance of proofing your e-flyer, okay? Because every day we get a panicked chat on our helpline from someone who has just sent out an e-flyer to 3,000, 5,000 people, and there's a big mistake on the e-flyer. Maybe it was for an open house and they put the wrong time. Maybe the price was wrong. They made a typo in the address. They forgot to put their phone number. Any silly thing. But once you send that e-flyer out, it's like sending an email out. Once it's gone, it's gone. We can't get it back. It's like emailing somebody with the wrong information. You're going to have to email them a second time, which never looks good and can get confusing. So take it from me. Just take 5 minutes to browse, take a quick look at your e-flyer, proofread it, make sure it's good to go. You can also send a proof to your client. You would just put in their email address and some instructions. Hi, Bob, here's the flyer I made. Please take a look at it. Let me know if you like it. If you want any edits, let me know. You're good to go. And then you can go in and change it if Bob wants some edits. But at least you've sent it to someone else to proofread. If you ever need to edit further, you can click Edit Further. It takes you right back into the edit template, okay? Or you can just use the navigation bar and jump back to Edit Template, make your changes. Go back to View Proof, proof it again, okay? Once you're good with the View Proof and you're completely confident that this is how you want it to look, there are no mistakes in it, we can move on to the next page, which is links. Okay, on the links page, the first thing you have to do is enter a subject line for your e-flyer. Now, when I say subject line, it's the same thing as when you send an email to someone and you put a subject at the top. To comply with all the spam rules and laws, you have to have a subject line when you send an e-flyer. And you should anyway, right? You want to type in something enticing. You're sending this to other real estate agents, so type in something that's going to make them want to open it. I'm not an agent, so I don't know. Amazing house, great pricing. Whoops, I'm a terrible typist. Obviously. Whatever it is you want to put in here, type in, a line of text that's going to get people enticed. They're going to want to open it, okay? Do not do that. That is a huge spam flag, okay? So just keep it simple. Don't use exclamation marks or lots of punctuation. Just get something in there that's going to make people want to open it, okay? So you have to have a subject line. Next up are links. Now, these are optional, okay? You have the option of adding 3 links to your flyer. So when someone gets it in their inbox, they can click on it and they'll go to where you want them to. The first link, we assume that people are going to want to watch the virtual tour. So to save you some time, we've already filled in this one for you. So we put a title in here for you and we put a link to the virtual tour. Remember, we made our virtual tour already, okay? So it auto-populates here. Now these fields are editable, so if you wanted to change this to something else, you can. Or, like I said, some of our clients only use us to make e-flyers. They might use a different company for their virtual tours. That's fine. You can get the link for that other virtual tour and paste it in here, and then this e-flyer will link to the virtual tour of your choice, okay? Totally up to you. You have two other links that you could use. You might want to have one that says, you know, welcome to Austin, right? And then the link is just whatever that website is, austin.com. And then you may want to, you know, visit my website if you have your own website, okay? And then whatever that link is, type it in there. Now, to make sure that these all work, there's a preview button. Click preview. Up pops the e-flyer. This is what your e-flyer is going to look like when it's in someone's inbox, right? There's your subject line. Okay, there's the date, there's the flyer. Here are the links. Now, take a minute and click on each of these because they're live. Make sure they go to where you expect them to. So, welcome to Austin. That is taking me to austin.com. Good. If that's the website I want it to be, great. I'm good to go. Okay, you can test the tour. Austin, my website, that was a fake one, so it probably won't work. But anyway, take a minute to test them. You're in a pop-up window. So if there's a mistake, you can just close the pop-up window. You're back on the same page. You didn't go anywhere. Fix your mistake, preview it again, click on them, make sure they work. Okay? When they're good to go, move on to the next step. You can either hit continue or you can use the navigation bar, and we'll get to the distribution page. This is where we tell the system where we want to send this flyer, okay? You have two options. You can either send it using our Map Blast tool, which is what most people use because it's really easy, or if you have your own list of email addresses, maybe you have a special list of clients that you always send all your listings to, you can send it to them. Now, you can do one or the other or both. You can do them both together, doesn't matter. Let's start with Map Blast. I just click on the Map Blast button. I get a pop-up window with a Google map, and our system, just to make your life easier, has created a target area with your listing in the middle. So we're just assuming you might just want to blast to the area around your target, around your listing address. So over here, area number 1, there are 3,058 agents in this red target area. So it would cost $30.70 to blast this out. Okay, if you're happy with that, hit continue and move on. If you want to tweak this area, you can. You'll notice there's little handles on all edges of this target area. Maybe this is way too big. I don't want to blast this to 3,000 people. That's crazy. I can click on my little handles, make my target area much smaller. Every time I click and make it smaller, this updates. Now it's only $893 and it's only $17. Now this is a Google map. It's really hard to see, but I can use the Google map navigation and zoom in. Ah, there we go. I can zoom right in if I want to do it to a very specific area. Like let's just say my listing is a specific condo, high rise. I only want to hit the downtown core because those are the only people that are going to be interested, okay? So now I've got a much smaller area. 244 agents, that's still a lot of agents, and it's only $11 to send it. So I can do that. I can tweak this. I can also click on this and move it. See how I'm just clicking on it and moving it around? Every time I do that, it recalculates how many people are in that area, okay? If I wanted to add a second target area, I can. Certain listings might, for whatever reason, you want to blast to 2 different areas. You can add another one by just clicking add another target area. Now it has zoomed me out so I can see my second target area is purple. Now I can click on it and move it around. I can zoom back in like I did before and get a very specific area, I don't know, right there. Okay, there's 33 people in that area, 33 cents. My new total is this, my new cost is this. If I want to delete the second area, I can just delete it. I change my mind, I don't want it. I just want this area right here in the middle. Okay, there we go. If I'm happy with this, I just hit continue. And it brings me right back to where I was on the distribution page because that was just a pop-up window. We didn't leave this page. Okay, so I'm going to send this to 245 people. There's my total. If I'm done, I can continue and go to the shopping cart. But if I want to add some people from my own distribution list, I'm going to click on this one. I get a little pop-up window, and I can, if I want, up here in this box, I can manually type in, each email address if I want, right? Make a list, just type them all in. Or if I have them somewhere else, I can copy and paste them in. Okay. When I'm done, I can make, if I always send to the same people, I don't want to do this every time. I'd rather type in or paste in all their names and then create a distribution list. So give it a name and then hit save. Then it will show up down here. These are all the distribution lists that I've made. And these distribution lists will show up every time you make an e-flyer. They're not listing specific. So every time I do a new e-flyer, whatever listing it's for, my client gold list people will be here. There's 6 people on that list. I want to include them. So I just tick send it to them. Now it's going to go to those additional 6 people. I can also edit that distribution list, go in here, add more people to it, delete people from it, hit save. It will update it. Okay. If I have a CSV file that I've made in Excel and I want to upload that, I can click here and it will upload all those names. I can then give them a name, a distribution list name, and save them. If I want to import, people from my Gmail or my Yahoo, I can do that as well. Okay. But if I just want to send it to, say, this one person here and my gold list, tick, there it is, continue. Okay. So I'm back on the distribution page because, again, this was just a pop-up window. Here's my little summary. It's going to 245 people from the map and 7 people from my contacts. Here's my new total. Here's my cost. When I'm done, I hit continue. This takes me to the shopping cart. The order is in my shopping cart. Okay, here's a little summary of what it is. As soon as I hit pay and go through with it, the e-flyer goes into our queue and goes out automatically. Okay, so be sure that you're good to go with this because once it goes out, we can't get it back. Once in a while, there'll be a queue ahead of you. And if you've just noticed or just remembered something, you can contact our helpline and we can sometimes, if it's still in the queue, we can get it out of the queue and you can fix it. If you get lucky, that does happen, but that doesn't always happen. So again, view the proof before you blast this out. If you want to finish your e-flyer, but you don't want to send it till Monday, because here it is, it's Friday. Nobody's going to be seriously checking emails on Friday, right? I'd rather send it Monday. I can leave this in my shopping cart, okay? And then I can log out, come back in here Monday, go straight to shopping cart. It'll be sitting here. I can pay for it then, and then it will go out. And you can do that with any of our products. You can make your virtual tour, send it to the shopping cart. It'll sit there, your photo shoots, whatever. Nothing will be deleted out of your shopping cart unless you go in and you manually delete it, okay? So that's how the shopping cart works. We are going to be introducing some new features for actually all of our products. This winter, it's kind of our slow season. It's kind of the slow season for all the real estate agents too. So this is when we try to go into our products and do updates. So we're going to be doing a lot of updates on the virtual tour. We're actually making an entirely new presentation for the front end. So it's going to look really beautiful. I'm hoping that will be done in November. And then we'll be able to launch our whole new player. The back end of how you make it will basically be the same, but the front end presentation is going to look beautiful. It's going to look more like a website, very modern, very slick. We're also going to be doing a bunch of updates for e-flyers. So one of the updates we're doing for e-flyers is the ability to select the time you want this to go out. So that way you would be able to pay for it now, but you've selected that you want it to go out at 10 o'clock Monday morning. So that's a new feature we're going to be adding. Just so you guys know, right now you have to pay for it and then it goes out. But we've got a whole list of updates and features that we're going to be adding to all of our products in the coming months. And it should be all ready in time for listing season when it starts up again in February. I'm going to delete this. I have accidentally sent out fake e-flyers before to thousands of agents, and it's not good because you get a lot of phone calls. People wondering about your listing. It's pretty funny. Okay, so we're almost done. Bear with me. We've just gone through photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers. Last up is print material. Don't worry, print material is made basically the exact same way you make an e-flyer. You just don't blast it out. You download a PDF at the end. So I'll just quickly take a look at that. Okay. All right, yet again, here we are on the listing page. These are all of my listings that already have finished, completed, paid for print material. These are listings that do not. Maybe I've started a flyer, but I didn't finish it. I didn't pay for it. Whichever. We divide everything into 2 groups. If I'm starting from scratch, I click on Create Listing and start from scratch, okay? To save us some time, again, let's choose our test listing that we've been using. Let's create new. Now, the one thing that's different between the print material and the e-flyers are always 8.5 by 11. We do that so that if you want, you can print it out. Now, a lot of people will make an e-flyer and that's it. They don't want to come in and make a print flyer that's identical to the e-flyer. So once you've made an e-flyer, we will copy that e-flyer and dump it into your print material under the single-sided flyers. That way, you don't have to make the flyer twice. If you did an e-flyer to blast out digitally, but then you also want to be able to print it and hand it out at your open house, we will copy that exact e-flyer, dump it into print material with a PDF link on it. So you don't have to do the flyer twice. Just saves you some time. Okay, they're always 8.5 by 11, single-sided. But if you want to do a different kind of print material, you can come into the back end, template type. You can choose between a single-sided flyer, 8.5 by 11, double-sided flyer, also 8.5 by 11, but it prints double-sided, so you can put some extra stuff. Our brochures are 11 by 17. So if it's laid out, it's full 11 by 17, but then you fold it in the middle right here. So it's like a little mini booklet. You have a front cover, a back cover, and the 2 inside pages. We also do postcards. We have jumbo, so the big size, and then we have little mini postcards as well, okay? So when you're in print material, you're going to choose a template type, okay? Let's say I want to do double-sided. I simply choose double-sided. It dumps me into the template library. It looks exactly the same as the e-flyer because it basically is. Only in this case, we're seeing double-sided templates. A lot of the categories are the same. You can go through and choose one that you like. You can preview it. When you're ready, you select it. Okay, let's just select this one. It'll take us into the template editor, which is the exact same editor that we were in when we did our e-flyer. The only difference is that we have a page 1 and a page 2. Okay, so it's taking us into the template editor. Looks familiar. We have a front page and a back page. We can drag and drop our images over, just like we did before. All of our text is populated because we took the time to fill in our property details. I'm going to hit refresh. So this is the front page. So you can see my prices there, my little title, my property description, it's all there. But if I mouse over, these are active. So I can change them if I want. I go to page 2, the back page. This is where my contact information shows up. Okay, I can put 2 more pictures in here. Oh, 4 more. Hit refresh. It's going to refresh it for me. And again, if I wanted to delete something, if I don't want that QR code, I can just delete it. I could drag a different picture over there if I wanted to, or I can just delete it altogether. I can do the same thing with my headshot. I could put something else there or delete it. I could delete my logo if I didn't want it there. You've got a few options. Templates, the problem with templates is that, I mean, they're good and they're bad. They're good if you just want to do something quick and you need it all set up for you. You don't want to make decisions on design. You just want to enter your content and have a PDF that you can download. They're good in that sense, but you are restricted because it is a template. You can't like click on this picture and move it slightly to the right. You can't move things around. You can delete things if you don't want them. You can edit the text, but you can't like, I can't say, well, I want this picture to be shifted over here. I want to add another picture here. You can't do that because on this template, there is no image field right here. There is a text field. You could take out the price and put something else, but it has to be a text field. So templates, there are good things about them and bad things about them. We also offer custom templates. So we have a lot of agents who will say, I really want my very own template that's my colors. It has the layout I want. It has all of my contact information embedded into the background, so I never have to change it. We do offer template creation for you, and the fee for that for a single-sided is $50. So for $50, we would create a custom template. We would turn it into a template in our system, and we'll load it into the library where only you will have access to it. Nobody else will. You paid for it. You have access to it. You can use it over and over and over again. So for $50, it's a really good deal to do that. If you have a favorite template in our system that you like and you use all the time, but you just want to customize it a little bit, we'll do that for $25. So for example, maybe you want to have your headshot and all your stuff just put into the background so you never have to change it, and you want this done up in your colors, just some basic minor customization, but the layout basically stays the same. We'll do that for $25 and put it into the category, the template library, in a category that only you have access to. So those are some things that you can do to kind of, customize a template and make it more your own. Okay, template editor. When we're done, we go to a proof page, just like we did with the e-flyer. okay? And the same thing, take a few minutes to proof this. It's not as dire because you're not emailing this out to people. If you were to print this out at home and notice a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You can come back and fix it and do another print. However, you don't want to spend money getting like 1,000 printed in full color and then you see a mistake, right? That's no good. So you've got your front and your back you can look at. Same with the e-flyer, you can send a proof of this to your client. Hi, Bob, here's the flyer I'm going to print out at the open house. Let me know if you like it or want any changes. You can always go back into the editor and change it if you want, okay? When you're done, complete the order. You have to bear with me. Things are always a little slower when we're on webinar. The system always works a little slower. Okay, so I can download a PDF. Now, my PDF is free. The reason my PDF is going to be free is because I bought something on our system. So whenever you buy something in our system, we always let people use our print creator for free. If you bought a photo shoot, if you purchased a virtual tour, if you did an e-flyer blast, you'll always get to use the print creator for free. And that means you can make as many pieces of print material for that listing. So I could do 10 flyers, a brochure, and 3 postcards. They'd all be free because I bought one thing for this particular listing. Okay. Otherwise, if you just want to use the print creator on its own, it's $9.99 per listing. So for 10 bucks, you can make as many pieces of print material as you want for that listing. It's only ever going to be the 10 bucks. And then you download the PDF and you can take it to your printer. Now, you can download it and take it on a little disc to Staples or wherever and get it printed. Or if you have a printer you use, you can place the order here. Basically, what you would do is click on place order. You put in your printer's email address, send them a message. Hi, Mike, I need 250 full color copies of this by Friday. Hit go, and our system will send Mike a print PDF of the flyer you just made. And then it's between you and Mike to get in touch and pick them up. We don't do professional printing through us. You can send it to your own printer, but we don't have a printer that we use on our own. This is very much, Realtor is very much a do-it-yourself. It's for people that want to do their own marketing materials on their own, look after their own printing, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's why we don't do printing through us. We're not a print company. We just provide you with the actual flyers that you can make, and then you take it from there on your own. Okay, so I know it's been like an hour and 20 minutes, and I said this was only going to be an hour. I'm sorry, we kind of went a little bit over, but I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and that is basically it, you guys. That's a run through of our 4 biggest products: the photo shoots, the tours, the e-flyers, and the print materials. These are the products that our clients use to advertise their listings. We do have other products that you can use to advertise yourself, and if you guys want, we can go through another tutorial and cover websites. We do some agent websites now, newsletters, listing presentations, and making an email signature, and I can even go through House Hunt a little bit more. That session's about 45 minutes, but for today, this is probably enough. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
I just have a question. I know we've done webinars before, so we don't even have to be in the room, right? Because if we want to have a webinar, we can send the link to our agents that are interested, and they can do it on their own all at the same time.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, but I think I heard what you asked. If you wanted to do a webinar like this, like what we're doing right now, and have other people come in, yeah, absolutely. It's just a link to a website. So like Rochelle, we can do this webinar for Rochelle and you guys, but there could be another 10 people sitting at their desks in other offices, logged into the webinar, watching their screen if they want. So no problem.
So if we wanted to pick like e-flyers and invite 10 agents, they just have to be in front of their computer.
Absolutely. That's all. And that's a good idea, because doing a full hour is a long time and it's a lot of information. So doing a one product, like let's go through e-flyers, then that would be like a 30-minute at most with questions, and we can get right into it, and we can do that. Like I do one-on-one tutorials with people. Like if an agent just needs help with one thing, they can jump on a webinar with me and we can go through it. Or I'll do the whole thing for one agent, or I'll do it like you guys are doing, and you could have a room full of 25 people watching, with people, you know, at their own desks anywhere. So yeah, it's literally the link that I sent you, Rochelle. That's the link to the GoToMeeting, and I can send it to anybody if you ever want to arrange to do a session. You have my email address, just let me know. And it's also on our help and support page. You can set up right here for free tutorials. You can email me.
Perfect.
That one up. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did record this, you guys, too. So I'll you'll be able to rewatch this if you want.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, so like I said,
Thank you, Gina.
yeah, you're welcome. Like I said, you guys can go in and you can make your Realtor account. Accounts are free, right? It doesn't cost anything. There's no subscription, nothing. You just go to realtor.biz. I'll just log out of my own account so you can see what it looks like. You just go to realtor.biz and at the top you can create your free account. You just need an email address and you make a password. Then you can go into the system like I just did and you can play around with the products. You never have to buy anything. You can make fake listings. You can make a fake virtual tour, upload a couple pictures, just see how it works. Okay?
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye.